It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the corner!
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win! The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker! Kenneth Walker! Touchdown! Smarty!
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up.
Yes!
Caught! Touchdown Detroit Lions! They did it! Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end!
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here! A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Let's go, Lions fans! Get a bunch of seats! Get a bunch of seats!
Forwards on the field, a charging team that will not yield. And with the blue and silver wave,
Everybody!
stand into the brave. Rah, rah, rah! Go hard with the game. With honor you will keep your faith. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions!
Rise and shine, folks. Good Monday morning to you. It is the 9th day of January 2023, I should say. Dang, first time I messed that up this year. We welcome you here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports and Network. Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, Anthony Bellino, all joining you. Thank you for joining us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City. We say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the show at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. On Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. And, of course, good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN, now streaming on our Michigan Sports Network YouTube page. Danny Cahalan is a Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AAC Bellino. Gentlemen, good Monday morning to both of you. Victory Monday here as we close down the 2022 season in style. Big-time statement victory on the road against Green Bay last night. How is everybody today?
Great. Little disappointed. Certainly a fantastic season. Everybody that we've basically said this is your time, they all pretty much showed up, I would say, other than DeAndre Swift. But all in all, great season. Great performance last night in the cold. Hey, now we got 7 months until camp.
Jeez.
It's beautiful. Eat it, cheeseheads. Go home, cry about it. Quay Walker, go cry some more in the tunnel. That's just a garbage move by you. Good riddance, Green Bay.
Yeah, the second time he's been ejected. I didn't realize that he was the player that was ejected for getting into it with non-uniform players on the Bills sidelines. You got to be, some kind of special stupid, especially during this week as a trainer's rushing out to the field on an injury that did not look good at all for DeAndre Swift. It looked incredibly painful, and the fact that the defender was just laying there on top of his leg as it was twisted and bent underneath him. And then he took, the shot to the head.
Which wasn't called. The shot to the head. Which,
of course not.
Great officiating last night, missing that call. You get the Quay Walker call, but you miss another Green Bay Packer guy coming in and bumping the trainer as well.
Yeah, I was surprised at that, too. Like, I don't know exactly what Green Bay, what they were thinking. But this week of all weeks, when you have the entire DeMar Hamlin situation. I mean, Quay Walker and 98, both of those guys, but especially Quay Walker, should feel a level of stupid and embarrassed that is basically like unforgivable, in my opinion. I don't know who you think you are or why you think that was acceptable behavior, but that's one of those moves that you really that's going to follow you in your career, and it should for quite some time. And to see the pity party, the pout fest that he had going up the tunnel, says everything we need to know about him. Like, that's completely your fault. I don't know why you're stomping your feet and acting like a spoiled little child going up the tunnel. Like, it's your fault. You are the only reason you're going up that tunnel right now. Nobody else.
Perfect of what Kirby Joseph said after the game in the locker room of, like, why do we want to win? They don't respect us. Aaron Rodgers doesn't respect us. They didn't respect this game, and we wanted to show them different.
And they did. If only the
Kirby Joseph, that's Aaron Rodgers' father, by the way. His daddy.
He's, the nice effort there by the rookie in his first season.
2-0.
No about that.
What are you going to say? 2-0 versus Aaron Rodgers, 3 picks.
Should
have been 4 or 5 picks.
One guy had a really nice year in 2 really nice games against him. The other guy is a future Hall of Famer. So I will, But yeah,
we're not playing the let's be a little nice to Green Bay. Nope. After everything,
I just can't call a guy.
I'm going to because guess what? Aaron Rodgers stomped off the field, going, "This might be my last go around again."
He gave the Sunday Night Football camera crew a little stiff arm there going up the tunnel as well. Wanted to have his moment with Randall Cobb and didn't want them in front of him. It looked like that might have been the last march, and you wouldn't have to deal with all this questioning. You wouldn't have to deal with everything if you were just upfront about it. And Aaron Rodgers just
now he's going to inherit the Milwaukee Bucks, so he's good to go.
I was surprised at the amount of people that were like upset about that. So Aaron Rodgers, if you haven't found, if you didn't know this, there's a picture of him circling the internet where he is taking in, I think it's a basketball game, but doing so with a young lady sitting next to him who has been identified as the Bucks owner's daughter, which I thought Aaron Rodgers owned a portion of the Bucks.
Mallory Eden's her name. She's 26. I think maybe.
Is that what people are mad about?
Maybe that's what's Aaron Rodgers, 39, something maybe. So maybe that's the problem.
What's the issue?
I don't know. I believe his ex-fiance, the actress, was under 30 as well.
Yeah, what's the issue with Aaron Rodgers dating somebody who's 26?
I don't know. Because
just like the draft,
because he's not Leo, and you got to
get younger. You got to get faster. It's just like the draft. What do you want him to go out there with a 50-year-old? That ain't gonna happen. Come on, people, get out of your feelings.
He's 40, so she's over 21. It's like, okay,
she's out of school.
Right.
Once you're out of college, that age stuff doesn't matter. Come on now. Mad at Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's not like he's 80 and she's 35. She's not like purely gold digging. She's got her own money. What's the issue? I just like to see people squirm about it. It's great because you know what? For every guy that complains, I didn't see too many guys complaining. It's mostly women complaining. Don't be mad because you're not 26 anymore. That's a bad look. It looks bad on you. Don't be that person. Just let it ride. You're gonna be fine. Everything will be fine. And if you're a dude who's like, "Oh, I don't know why you do that," well, I mean, if you had a hot 26-year-old, I bet you'd take her too. I bet you would take her too in a heartbeat. So let's not look at that photo and be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he'd do that." Like, it's one of those. It's a lot like when people would talk to me about Tiger Woods. Like, you're not gonna convince me about anything with Tiger Woods. It's not gonna happen. You've never had those opportunities. So like, how would you know what to do in that situation? You wouldn't. You'd do the same thing. Come on now. All right, coming up on today's program, Lions, whole lot of Lions. Other teams were also in action this weekend as well, including the Pistons, the Wings, and the battle at the Breslin. We'll get to all of that. The NFL playoff bracket is now solidified. And, of course, we have the national championship game tonight, which just feels like an afterthought.
Opponents for the Lions next season have been set already.
That's right. That is true. That is true because the way that the schedule will shake out, we know who we're playing, and the way that they finish this year in their division, that also determines who they play next year as well. So we'll step aside. We'll come right back. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Fish On! The Ultimate Fishing Show, Detroit, January 12th through 15th.
At the Suburban Collection Showplace with over 7 acres of the newest fishing tackle, fishing boats, and fishing trips. Take it from fishing pro Mark Zona.
This is the largest pure fishing show in the country.
It's the fishing boat show. Buy from dealers who know how to rig them right.
Shop fishing tackle only available once a year. Seminars on 5 stages.
Meet guides and lodge owners.
The Ultimate Fishing Show, Detroit, January 12th through the 15th. At the Suburban Collection Showplace. It's Christmas for fishermen.
Huge here with a reminder that I'll be live this Friday, 3 until 6, statewide, from the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit inside Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi on the east side of the state. This is the biggest fishing show in America. Over 4 football fields of fishing tackle, fishing trips, fishing boats, and also it features like Ultimate, a huge indoor lake, on-the-water seminars daily. Look for the huge show live at the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit this Friday, statewide, 3 until 6.
Whether it's jackpots or colors of the rainbow, 7's a special number. At Meijer, it's no different. Get more for your money with 7 for $7, no luck required. Mix or match specially marked items. Buy 7 or more and get each for only $1. From Meijer Instant Oatmeal and Meijer Pasta Sauce to Meijer Facial Tissue, there's so many ways to 7 for $7. Plus, California Sweet Seedless Mandarins just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. And shop the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Imagine this: winning big at Soaring Eagle and finding Piggy Riches for up to $10,000. Every Friday in January, one lucky winner every hour from 7 to 11 p.m. will break the Piggy and reveal their prize, from $500 premium play all the way up to $10,000 in cash. Don't miss Piggy Riches, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer guest line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you ride along with us no matter who you are and where you are, how you may be listening. Appreciate you making us a part of your day each and every weekday morning all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. What a night it was last night for the Detroit Lions on Sunday Night Football. I mean, to have the entire country watching last night with a playoff berth on the line for the Green Bay Packers. The Lions came up huge, and a number of big-time plays that just could not believe the play calls, and then the stones, and really, sort of the IQ that was, especially if you go back to declining the encroachment penalty, so that therefore you could run an extra play and make Green Bay burn an extra timeout before the 2-minute warning. I mean, that was pretty incredible. And the fact that Dan Campbell just kind of said, look, they're not going to be able to stop us anyway, so let's line up and run right at them. Jamal Williams, the day that he had the play call for the hook and ladder, that was incredible. I didn't understand why, on the broadcast they were like, well, if you were going for the playoffs, I don't know if you'd make that call. Like, I don't think there's any style. Like, if you watch the Lions all season long, they get pretty wild with some of their play calls. Like, they'll dig some stuff up and say, you know what, let's just do this on 4th and 1 and hit a tight end that just dropped one 3 plays ago. Like, let's go right back to them. Like, they get pretty wild when it comes to some of their decision making and their play calling. And last night was just I was very, very happy for Dan Campbell.
The last season, it got a little out of hand. Now they have found like the perfect mixture of when to call those. This year was like magical when it came to that, really.
Well, it's only out of hand if you're not getting them, right? If you're not converting them, then it's like,
No. It doesn't matter. They went like, didn't they go like 5 for 7 on 4th down in a game? Like, cool, you're getting them, but
the one
don't do it all the time.
The one you missed was a backbreaker in that. What game was that? Where it was just like they missed like their last 4th down attempt, and it was like, you've been converting on 4th downs all day. Like, come on. I mean, we went for it on 4th down on our own, like, 26 or something crazy like that this year. I mean, they're just preposterous. And this Lions team, and Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, his decision to send the entire house at Aaron Rodgers on 3rd down, which led to which forced an interception there because Aaron Rodgers was hit as he throws, floats one up there, and that turns into a really opportunistic play for Kirby Joseph, what could have been his 2nd interception of the game, if not for John Kaminsky being held and them calling a hands in the face penalty on the first go around. But that to me, just extremely happy for that coaching staff that took so much flack, and here they are, right at 9-8, far exceeding my expectations. Right? Does this count for all the people that like to move the goalposts around? Does this count for a game that they were, they had to win? Or does this one get kicked by the wayside and like, oh, well, they were supposed to win that game? We're like, which way does that go? That is a signature victory for Dan Campbell and the brand new Lions. Signature dub. Didn't have to have it. Would have been nice to have it. Sends Green Bay home if you do get it, but you know that 40 minutes prior to you even kicking the ball off, your fate was sealed. You knew that Baker Mayfield and the Rams couldn't do you a solid. They held in there. That was an exciting game. It was about as close as it could get. And just couldn't do it.
Well, Van Jefferson dropped a 1st down and possibly like a 40-yard gain to put them into field goal position. I don't know if you watched that play that it was. I was like, that's field goal position, and then he drops it. Last offseason, going into last offseason, we told everybody to watch out for the Eagles because they were up and coming. They had 3 first-round picks last year. It might be the Lions. That might be the Lions this year. Holy cow, the Lions finished 9-8. They have picks 6 and 18. Look out.
2 top 20 picks? Like, are you kidding me? Anybody who is upset about the drafting position, you're a Looney Tune. You're an absolute loon. Like you can't find great players all over the draft. I mean, look at the amount of impact that I do like.
Look at Brock Purdy. The guy was the last pick in this draft. He's going to the playoffs.
Winning football games in the NFL. But you know what, Brock Purdy, if they do not assemble that roster the way that they have, and Brock Purdy's forced to walk out there, with I don't know who's a good example this year of a team that is like Chicago, for example. If he's given Chicago's roster, we're not talking about Brock Purdy. Like, that is a roster that's built for success. That is why
Sam Ehlinger and the Colts.
There you go. There's another good example. Like, whoever's going to play quarterback, you have to be able to build your team so that young man can come in there and have some success. You can't keep drafting, guys like Joey Harrington and throwing them into the Wolves, or Matthew Stafford and sending them in there with a team that was 0-16 the year before. Like, that's a really tough ask for a young quarterback. A really tough ask. And it usually leads to the demise of young quarterbacks. Like, that's what it is. You look at a guy like Sam Darnold, who is on, team number 2. Baker Mayfield is on team number 3. You look at it. It happens nonstop. It happens every single draft. The quarterback position will always be overdrafted in the NFL draft. It's always going to happen that way because people obsess over the fact that you got to have the guy under center. Do you have to have one? Yeah. If I asked you who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, just because we had that discussion, I'll throw that out there. I'm not asking you for an answer right now, right? I'll give you some time to think about it. But who would be your top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now? Start going team by team and be like, and go through it. And I want to see kind of what you have to say about how you came to your top 5. I think that's a pretty interesting, because it's a really difficult position to play, especially if your team isn't any good around you. And if your team takes a flyer on a young guy, then it doesn't work out, boy, does that look bad. I mean, hell yeah, Joe Flacco starting for the Jets yesterday, for God's sakes. Like, you have Brock Purdy in a situation to where that team was really well built around him. Jalen Hurts comes into the Philadelphia Eagles, pretty good roster around him, continuing to add to it. Like, they're in a really good spot. He's a really good quarterback. Right? You have to be able to, especially start up front. I thought the Lions up front did a really nice job in yesterday's game. Nothing overwhelming or gaudy as far as like a number standpoint. But it's cold out there, so I don't really expect guys to go for 400 yards passing. It just doesn't happen. But if you outgain the Packers 323 to 291, I feel pretty good about that. And if your offensive line can lead the way for guys like Jamal Williams, who had a wonderful game, 16 carries, 72 yards. It's about 4.5 yards a carry. Scored twice. A couple of big chunk yards. None of the explosive plays of 15, 20-yard gains, scampering on the sidelines, but a couple of really nice chunk yardage. Where he's picking up 7, 8, 9, 10 yards on one carry. You had Jared Goff that was 23 of 34 for 224. Was only sacked one time. Like that, they did a really good job of protecting him. He did a good job of getting the football out. Although he made some throws there in yesterday's game that I know that he wants back. A couple of them are low and in the shoelaces. He hasn't necessarily been great outdoors in this kind of weather. He was good enough for the win. Good enough for the win yesterday, and that's exactly what you need. Guys like Khalif Raymond coming up big, Josh Reynolds, DJ Chark, you had the butt catch by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just crazy the way that this game kind of turned out for the Detroit Lions. Winners 20-16 over the Green Bay Packers. We'll step aside. More Lions want to get your thoughts on that. Plus, I do want to get your guys' thoughts in the studio. I want to get both your thoughts on who would be your top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now. Step aside. More X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Imagine this. winning big at Soaring Eagle, and having a winter blast with up to $25,000. Every Saturday in January from 7 to 10 p.m., you can win $1,500 in premium play. Then, at 11 p.m. each week, one lucky player takes home $25,000 cash. That's $160,000 all month long. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Whether it's jackpots or colors of the rainbow, 7's a special number. At Meijer, it's no different. Get more for your money with 7 for $7, no luck required. Mix or match specially marked items. Buy 7 or more and get each for only $1. From Meijer Instant Oatmeal and Meijer Pasta Sauce to Meijer Facial Tissue, there's so many ways to 7 for $7. Plus, California Sweet Seedless Mandarins just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. And shop the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Fish on! The Ultimate Fishing Show, Detroit, January 12th through 15th.
At the Suburban Collection Showplace with over 7 acres of the newest fishing tackle, fishing boats, and fishing trips. Take it from fishing pro Mark Zona.
This is the largest pure fishing show in the country.
It's the fishing boat show. Buy from dealers who know how to rig them right.
Shop fishing tackle only available once a year. Seminars on 5 stages.
Meet guides and lodge owners.
The Ultimate Fishing Show, Detroit, January 12th through the 15th. At the Suburban Collection Showplace. It's Christmas for fishermen.
Huge here with a reminder that I'll be live this Friday, 3 until 6 statewide from the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit inside Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi on the east side of the state. This is the biggest fishing show in America. Over 4 football fields of fishing tackle, fishing trips, fishing boats, and also it features like Ultimate, a huge indoor lake, on the water seminars daily. Look for the huge show live at the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit this Friday, statewide, 3 until 6.
You're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports and Network. A reminder, new customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win. Get $150 in free bets when they do. That's promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. Now, if you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus, Michigan only. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus issue has free bets, eligibility, and terms at DraftKings.com/basketball terms. Want to get your thoughts on the Lions as well? Text the keyword sports radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. Dan, Ryan, real quick, during the break, I know that we had some conversations that were not in relation to this, but did you come up with your top 5 quarterbacks, or do you need more time?
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the rushing TDs.
You were Googling?
By team, yeah, because you were asking in the break if it felt weird that Jamal Williams has the Lions single-season rushing TD record.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, not really, because since the offensive boom of like the 2000s, the Lions have been terrible. So they finally had a breakout season for a running back.
And that was a breakout. See,
it's 17 for the Lions. The Seahawks or the Chargers have LT 28, Sean Alexander for Seattle 27, Priest Holmes for Kansas City 27, Emmett 25, John Riggins for Washington 24. So it's like 17 is it's not
number.
even it's great, but like there's guys that are all the way down to 17th, 18th in league history that have 18. So he's not even, top 30.
Yeah, and I guess my question is in regards to Jamal Williams is, does in extra games, you break Barry Sanders' record, his franchise single season record, which is awesome for Jamal Williams. I didn't expect it to be him. Right? That's a number that if they were going to break this record, that's somebody who, okay, you drafted DeAndre Swift, that was going to be the guy to break the record. I didn't think it was going to be the let's find a free agent and add a little complimentary football here in the backfield and have Jamal Williams kind of take off.
I mean, finally they found I've been a critic of Jamal Williams, but finally they have found somebody that a free agent running back that has come in and been productive.
And
they've been searching for years for that secondary back, and he seems like the guy.
Not only is he the secondary, took over basically as the primary. Whether that was due to DeAndre Swift's injury or the fact that maybe there's a little too much tiptoeing and dancing going on at the line of scrimmage, and Deuce is like, look, man, we gotta get up the field. 262 rushing attempts for Jamal Williams this year, 1,066 yards, and a franchise record 17 touchdowns, an average of 4.1 yards per carry. By the way, his 17 touchdowns, good for first in the NFL this year, leading all running backs. How crazy is that? His 1,066 yards, good for 11th in the league, 262 attempts, good for 7th in the league. That's pretty impressive. And if you want to look at some of the other accolades that were made by the Detroit Lions to close down the year last year, in his second season with 196 total receptions, Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown tied Justin Jefferson and Michael Thomas for the most receptions through an NFL player's first 2 career seasons. That is some pretty elite company right there for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Does it a little different than those two, and that's okay. But that's elite company. Justin Jefferson and Michael Thomas. The 2022 Lions became the 3rd team in NFL history to start a season 1-6 and finish with a winning record. They joined the 1970 Bengals and 2021 Dolphins as the only teams to do so. Jared Goff finished the year, this is a crazy stat, by throwing 324 consecutive passes without an interception, the fifth longest streak in NFL history. Did not throw a pick in his last 9 starts of the year, extending his franchise record. Kirby Joseph recorded his 4th interception of the season last night, the most by a Lions rookie since 1986. He's the NFL's first rookie safety since Reggie Nelson in 2007 to have 4 picks and 2 forced fumbles in his first campaign. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, when the Lions were in their little streak of playing well, I think we were all still thinking every pick should be for defense in this upcoming draft. Now I think, I'm not saying the first pick shouldn't be, first or second pick should probably both be defense, but are you thinking 50-50 now, offense and defense in this draft?
I don't know where you'd go offensively early on in the draft if there isn't, if there's a big time player like Robinson from Texas, the running back. Is it Bijan? If he's available somehow, if he's available at 6, do you take him? Do you take a running back at 6? That really goes against everything I believe.
No, but if he's there 18 or if he's there second round, I think the running back pick would be a luxury pick. I think it's defense, maybe a guard. But offense, like guard and tight end, is what I only want to see drafted. And I don't even know if that's even in the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, I don't even know about tight end. They gotta
if you find a 5th or 6th round tight end to kind of just, I don't know the contract situations of all the Lions tight ends at the moment.
Very inexpensive.
Very inexpensive, so it's like a 6th round draft pick.
Do you go defense, and then worry about an offense that was really, really good this year? I am legitimately nervous about Ben Johnson. I am.
Oh, he already his name got mentioned with Carolina yesterday on CBS's pregame show.
Well, I hope that the Panthers need to retain their head coach, what they need to do. Lions punter Jack Fox punted for the 175th time of his career last night. He owns the NFL's best gross and net averages through a punter's first 175 career punts. He also owns those records through 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, and 150 career punts. That's why he is the highest paid punter in the league. Jamal Williams, his first career 1,000-yard season and the first 1,000-yard running back in Detroit since Reggie Bush in 2013, which feels like forever ago. It was almost a decade ago. This is the second time in team history a player has rushed for 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns in a season, joining Barry in 1991. That's what such a special season it was for Jamal Williams. Then you look at the number 2 overall pick, and this is something that I could not be happier with, right? And I can't emphasize this enough when I talk about this. I love Taylor Decker. I love Jeff Okudah. Okudah didn't go last night, and they still won the football game. Aaron Rodgers couldn't beat them without their number 1 corner on the field. That's pretty impressive by Aaron Glenn's defense. It doesn't matter to me where you go to school, but the fact that Aiden Hutchinson worked out the way that he did after all the surprising all the negativity. And people talking about how we missed on that pick, should have went this way, should have went that way, got the wrong guy, should have went with Kayvon, this, that, and third. Aiden Hutchinson lived up to all the hype, and I don't know. I know that a lot of people want Sauce because he plays in New York. I don't know how you don't watch Aiden Hutchinson and believe that he is an absolute difference maker for that defense as a whole. Every single play. When he gets past his man, it changes the entire complexion of what takes place on that play. And Aiden Hutchinson is the first NFL player to produce a season with 9.5 sacks, 3 interceptions, two fumble recoveries, since Hall of Fame defensive end Richard Dent in 1990. Hutch and Dent are the only defensive linemen in NFL history to produce such a season. Oh, and by the way, Hutch did that in his rookie year. With 2 sacks last night, he had 9.5 on the season. He trailed the rookie record for sacks in a season by 0.5. He has produced 3 multi-sack games this season, tied with Ziggy Ansah, Detroit's rookie record for the most multi-sack contests. Hutch and James Houston each have 8+ sacks this season, the first rookie duo in NFL history to do so. The last set of Lions players with 8+ sacks in a season, Ndamukong Suh and Cliff Averill back in 2012. You remember what that was like.
They set the most sacks by rookies record.
That's right, combining for 19.5 sacks total with Hutch's couple last night. It's a new NFL record for combined sacks from a team's rookie core. So congratulations to those guys. And we look at a guy like Alex Anzalone, who last year wasn't great. This year, I would say much improved, had a really good season. He's Detroit's first player to produce a season with at least 120 tackles and 7 tackles for loss since DeAndre Levy did it in 2014. And I saw this come across the wire, and I typed it all out, and I didn't hit send, right? Because I was like, well, the month of December, I don't know if that's a worthy stat or not. Among all NFL quarterbacks since the start of December, right? So this goes into yesterday as well. Lions quarterback Jared Goff ranks first in passer rating of 113. I think you guys probably remember when we went through this, I think, last week. First in interceptions with 0. Tied for first in passing touchdowns with 12. Second in yards per attempt. Second in passing first downs. Tied for second in 25-plus yard passing plays. And third in total passing yards. Like, that's how good he's been since the month of December started. Like, what a run for Jared Goff. Nothing overly flashy, nothing too crazy, right? Just steady, consistent quarterback play that's winning football games. And I think which is the most important part about this is the fact that, okay, we understand kind of now, we have a better view of what Jared Goff is and can be. Really good season. Can you depend on him to have that season again for 2023? That's the question. Does this staff, do they think to themselves, this team, this quarterback, like I know that you hear a lot about Justin Fields because of the rushing record and whatever. It's a 3-win football team. Like, I do not care. I rattled off a whole bunch of stats that if this Detroit Lions team would have been a 3-win football team, like we might have been able to say, well, here's a bright spot. At the end of the day, you only won 3 games. Like, this is a win and lose league. And the Detroit Lions climbed all the way up to 9-8 on the year for second place in the division. That's pretty incredible. It really is. Like, that to me, when you talk about a jump from last year, a 3-win football team, and the best divisional record in the NFC North. The Vikings were 4-2. The Lions were 5-1. The Packers were 3-3, and the Chicago Bears didn't win a single game in the division all season. The Lions finishes the only team in the NFC North with a positive point differential. They were plus 26. Green Bay was -1. Minnesota was -3, and Chicago was minus 137. Like, how wild is that? The fact that the Lions put up almost 100 more points this season than Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers is pretty staggering numbers. It really is. And you want to be able to.
It's nice to play in a dome.
Oh, man. Tell you what, like, yeah, give me the dome, give me the turf field, give me perfect conditions. Like, it's like playing down in Florida, like playing in Texas, right? Can we talk about the final screw you from Patricia and Quinn of Quandre Diggs, making the interception that basically sealed Seattle's win? I also assume the Lions will draft mostly defense. What about a running back? That comes from Adam. Depends on the running back that's available and then where you're going to draft him, because I'm not a believer in first-round running backs. I just am not. Although I don't think it's a position that anyone can play, It is, truly is it's just such a short shelf life for running backs. And if you have a guy like a Derrick Henry who becomes available, right? And this is, that's all being able to, see who Derrick Henry is now as a player. Could Bijan Robinson be that guy from Texas? Is he that guy? I don't know. I don't have my crystal ball. I wish that I did. For Quandre, like, did it hurt? Absolutely it did. Hurts every time Darius Slay gets an interception too. But yeah, Bob Quinn and Matt Patricia were an absolute disaster.
Well, if you listen to the game or watch the broadcasts of the Seahawks game, Quandre Diggs called the Lions that are still his teammates. There's probably only, two? I don't know if there's Jack Fox is still on the team.
Taylor Decker.
But he called the Lions, his former teammates, and said, hey, we're going to handle business. Can you knock the Packers out? And then he got it done. I don't know. Then he looked at, I don't know if you saw it, he got the ball, pointed at the sideline. It was pretty cool.
I love the Geno Smith after the Seahawks game. Like, let's go Lions. The Seattle Twitter account being all over it. I love the live looks where NBC, goes to their local NBC affiliate that's posted up at a bar with people watching the game and enjoying themselves. And
Kenneth Walker tweeted out after the Lions game, it was 2 wins in one day. What a weekend.
What a weekend, and good for them. They beat us heads up. It's unfortunate.
So that's the game you look at if you're a Lions fan. When you're like, how did we miss the playoffs? You gave up 50 points to Seattle and lost by 3. And that was the tiebreaker.
But if you beat Carolina,
you didn't even show up for Carolina. I saw you didn't show up for Carolina. You gave up a last-minute touchdown to Minnesota early in the season. You give up 50 to Seattle, the team that ends
38 to the Eagles.
Lose by 3 to the Eagles, week 1. It's weeks 1 through 7, starting 1 and 6.
Yeah, any of those games, to be honest.
Literally, just one of them. One of them. It wasn't like, oh, we needed this one to go away, that one. Just one of them.
Just pick one. You can have any one you want. What about and we saw this last year, and a lot of people, would call into the show or text into the show that, because Dan Campbell's a rah-rah guy and he's a culture coach, and they never win any games that are meaningful, and they're only supposed to win the games that that they're supposed to. Which, I mean, anytime that you are supposed to win a game in the NFL, I think that's a sign of things moving in a positive direction. But they didn't quit last year when they were 0 and whatever they were to finish the season 3-3. They didn't quit on Dan Campbell then, and even when the going got tough here. Well, Aubrey Pleasant's just a scapegoat. Well, defense a whole lot different with him. I'm not there. I can tell you that much. Nice guy, didn't work out, is what it is. But they're 1 and 6, and the team never quit. 3-game winning streak, 3-game winning streak, 2-game winning streak. Like, you can't ask for anything else. 8-2 in your final 10. That is remarkable. We'll step aside. Hour number 2 is next. X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
Fish On! The Ultimate Fishing Show, Detroit, January 12th through 15th.
At the Suburban Collection Showplace with over 7 acres of the newest fishing tackle, fishing boats, and fishing trips. Take it from fishing pro Mark Zona.
This is the largest pure fishing show in the country.
It's the fishing boat show. Buy from dealers who know how to rig them right.
Shop fishing tackle only available once a year. Seminars on 5 stages.
Meet guides and lodge owners.
The Ultimate Fishing Show, Detroit, January 12th through the 15th. At the Suburban Collection Showplace. It's Christmas for fishermen.
Huge here with a reminder that I'll be live this Friday, 3 until 6, statewide, from the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit inside Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi on the east side of the state. This is the biggest fishing show in America. Over 4 football fields of fishing tackle, fishing trips, fishing boats, and also it features like Ultimate, a huge indoor lake, on the water seminars daily. Look for the huge show live at the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit this Friday, statewide, 3 until 6. Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. You can stay up to date on the latest from Lansing 24/7 at MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. The latest news, press releases, and stories connected to every high school in the state of Michigan, available for you 24/7 from the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Log on to MHSAA.com, at MHSAA on Twitter, and MHSAA on Facebook. And if you're looking for archive boys and girls high school sports, MHSAA.TV. That's MHSAA.TV. 24/7, everything you need to know about high school sports in Michigan. Log on to MHSAA.com.
We played for the thrill, that rush you feel with the game on the line. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver. Now, with Eagle Casino and Sports, the new sportsbook app from Soaring Eagle, anywhere I'm at, I'm still in the game.
Sign up now and get up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 for a risk-free bet on your next favorite underdog, parlay, or prop.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Whether it's jackpots or colors of the rainbow, 7's a special number. At Meijer, it's no different. Get more for your money with 7 for $7, no luck required. Mix or match specially marked items. Buy 7 or more and get each for only $1. From Meijer Instant Oatmeal and Meijer Pasta Sauce to Meijer Facial Tissue, there's so many ways to 7 for $7. Plus, California Sweet Seedless Mandarins just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. And shop the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
Good morning, everyone.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
It's a good morning. Wake up to a brand new day. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, Vietnam.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Rise and shine, folks. Welcome back. Hour number 2 here on this Monday, the 9th day of January, 2023. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening, all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. From Traverse City down to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, we say good morning to you. We welcome you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And, of course, we encourage you. Join the program at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000. Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176. We're on Twitter at XB Mornings, Facebook, X's and Bros. Good morning to our television audience as well on BCSN, and now streaming live on our YouTube page at Michigan Sports Network. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. And I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. Plenty of Lions talk, plenty of talk this morning, of course, about the Honolulu Blue and Silver and what a ball game that was last night. The future, how bright it does feel right now for this team moving forward, which is an absolute. It's just a beautiful thing. Not the only team in action though. Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State at the Br0's. We will get to all of that coming up here in hour number 2. But first, let's get you all caught up with all the happenings across the world of sports. We'll do so right now in the headlines.
Big news.
I have a little news flash.
Let's check the headlines.
No, it's real news for once.
The biggest stories of the local, regional, and national news.
This is huge news.
29 touchdown passes, 4,438 yards for Jared Goff as he closed down a fantastic season with the Detroit Lions this year. They finished the season 9-8 overall, 20-16. A winner last night on Sunday Night Football, and effectively, as I saw from your boy Skip Bayless now, that's basically a playoff game for the Packers. And that's 3 straight playoff games that would basically been lost by Aaron Rodgers, 2 of which were 1 seeds, all 3 at Lambeau. Pretty crazy to think about it like that. Lovie Smith, your first man out. He's been fired as the Texans head coach after just 1 season. The team finished 3-13-1. Look, back-to-back first-year coaches gone. David Culley ousted last January. I don't know what the move is here for Houston. You got to think about every team that's going to be making some changes right now is looking for a way, like, how do we replicate? Like, look at what Detroit just did. And that is such a beautiful feeling. Rewarded with an opportunity, the Seahawks.
Not just Detroit, but also Jacksonville. Teams 1 and 2 in the draft last year, both finished 9-8. Jacksonville in a worse division. They ended up winning the division. Like, the NFL's looking, this is awesome.
This is exactly why the NFL is built the way that it is. Built for everybody to go 500. Plenty of parity throughout the league. It's the best league in the world. There's nothing else like it. There truly is not. Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, and the Seahawks punched their ticket. 19-16 overtime winners against Baker Mayfield and the LA Rams. Thought that the Rams might actually hold on and do us a solid there, but just came up a little bit short. But still a great way for the Detroit Lions to end their season. How bad were the Dallas Cowboys? Was that not beautiful? Losing to the Washington Commandos as a 26-6 was your final. Favorites in the ball game. I don't know, man. I really don't. Was it Sam Howell who showed up in the Shane Falco jersey?
Believe so.
Yeah, what an incredible jersey choice there. Kevin Durant is going to undergo an MRI after injuring his knee against the Miami Heat yesterday. That's not good. Right knee injury in the third quarter. The Brooklyn Nets have been playing some really good basketball. They've been on a little bit of a tear. It looks like they've got some things figured out now. but not a good situation there. They still won the basketball game 102 to 101. As much as I might hate the Winter Classic, people definitely do not. The 2023 Winter Classic at Fenway set merchandise sales records for an NHL outdoor game, according to the NHL. Sales were up 61% at game day concession merchandise sales, so inside the kiosk there. Up 61% from St. Louis against Minnesota at Target Field in Minneapolis. Plus, those records extended to the online retail as well, where Winter Classic merchandise sales were up 200% from 2022. So I might not like the Winter Classic, but I'll tell you what, fan bases have something to do with it as well. You know, people want those collector items. You go back. Do you have any specific sort of like collector item, T-shirt or sweatshirt or piece of memorabilia in your house or in your closet that you'll just always hold on to? Do you remember
we'll
the
have to talk about that in the break. I do. Yes, I have.
Okay.
A Barry Sanders Hall of Fame edition jersey.
Okay. I have the black Stanley Cup Finals hat with the brown bill. If you remember that.
They should resell those. I mean, you would not be able to keep those on the shelves.
No.
Those are classic. Like with like fake, it's like the fake brown, like suede-ish almost.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Those are great.
Yeah, I so
like I can just imagine the pictures of Larry Murphy and everybody in the locker room with those hats on.
Any old Final Four T-shirts, you know what I mean? Like those old sort of things. So I get why Winter Classic merchandise sales would skyrocket, because those are things that people are going to want to keep forever. Kyle Connor set a franchise record with his 41st game winner for the Jets. So how about that? Kyle Connor recorded his 41st game-winning goal, scored on the power play, 5:38 in the third period. The Jets beat the Lightning on Friday night, 4-2. At least somebody beat the Lightning, and you know the Red Wings can get that done from time to time. TCU, Sonny Dykes, and Georgia's Kirby Smart are seeking changes to the recruiting calendar. Thank you. Look, we're preparing this week for a national championship game, and we had 6 transfers on campus for an official visit. You're just kind of like, really? I mean, are we really doing this? Exactly. It doesn't stop for coaches at the highest level, according to Kirby Smart. I'm not sure any of us have had the exact right answer, but I do think being smart and legislating time for coaches to be with their team and with their family is important. Absolutely. They got to do something about this. That early signing period is a disaster. The entire calendar needs an overhaul. Needs an absolute overhaul. The fact that these guys got to bring in recruits on game days and have them on campus, you're trying to recruit while preparing for a game, that's hard enough as it is. But to do that during the national championship, transfer season special, I mean, come on. Michigan is under the NCAA investigation. Jim Harbaugh said that he expected to stay. Now, this is an article from Friday where things got a little bit more different, as reports were saying that the Denver Broncos were going to interview Jim Harbaugh, one of the candidates on their list. Denver Broncos also interviewing why is it slipping?
Sean Payton, but
thank you.
They have to wait a week, I believe.
Yeah, and if you're the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton or Jim Harbaugh?
Well, I guess the tie-up with Payton would be he wants him and Vic Fangio are a package deal, it sounds like. And
Love a good package.
And that is former Broncos head coach Vic Fangio. So it's more of like, is Vic Fangio going to swallow his pride if that job's offered?
I mean, I don't see why not. Go on back. Go on back and be part of it. Why not? White Sox closer Liam Hendriks is going to start cancer treatment. He's got non-Hodgkin lymphoma. He'll begin treatment today. Hearing the word cancer came as a shock to my wife and I, as it does to millions of families each year. However, I am resolved to embrace the fight and overcome this new challenge with the same determination I've used when facing other obstacles in my life, is what he wrote on Instagram. The Detroit Red Wings played 2 this weekend. They lost Friday night at home against Florida 3-2. Then went on the road Saturday and lost 4-1 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. They'll be back in action tomorrow night against the Winnipeg Jets for the first of 3 at home, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday this week. Jets, Maple Leafs, and the Blue Jackets before hitting the road early next week to Colorado. The Detroit Pistons, they lost both of their games this weekend as well, 121-109 to San Antonio. That was a disaster. And then 123-111 at home against the Philadelphia 76ers. They'll be back in action against the Sixers tomorrow night on the road in Philly for a 7 o'clock tip-off. And Breslin ball this weekend as well. Michigan State beats Michigan 59-53. We'll step aside. More X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
We played for the thrill, that rush you feel with the game on the line. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver. Now, with Eagle Casino and Sports, the new sportsbook app from Soaring Eagle, anywhere I'm at, I'm still in the game.
Sign up now and get up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 for a risk-free bet on your next favorite underdog, parlay, or prop.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Bill Simonson here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids. They now have merged with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of the state, and they're stronger than ever before in the state of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast when it comes to your accounting and business needs. Find out more at beancarter.com. That's BEENEGARTR.com. Also, Thomas stepped up with $1,500 in cash in the Beat Huge Pro Football Picks contest. Now, if you beat my picks just 1 week, you'll be in the drawing at the end of the pro football season for $1,500 in cash from Tom Rosenbach and Bean Carter. Thursday night game is always a freebie. You have until Sunday morning to play every week through the big game. You can play once or play every week. Do what you want to, but get your picks in now at thehugeshow.net.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at freddythepizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email freddythepizzaman@gmail.com.
From Traverse City to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, you're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you right along with us. It's hour 2 at segment 2, which means it's time for Detroit Lions trivia. Absolutely impossible trivia question here. Gonna have to go take a look and see the cartoon caricatures, the artistic drawings for the player card on this one. What Lions player scored 19 points? He had 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and 4 extra points in the team's 31-21 win over the Rams in a 1952 National Conference playoff game. Dude was a walking bucket, as the kids say in basketball. Scoring points just about any way you possibly can. 2 touchdowns.
I was going to call him Bogey, so it's funny that you said walking bucket. I have no idea.
Kicked a field goal and 4 extra points.
Jared Goff.
Correct answer is Pat Harder. We'll look him up, see what we can find out.
Also,
right,
there's a poll
Yeah.
question I put out last night, retweeted from X's and Bros. What's Aaron Rodgers most scared of? His family, vaccines, or Kirby Joseph? Go vote now.
Clearly Kirby Joseph.
That is the runaway right now.
Don't throw it anywhere near Big Curb. All right, let's get to the phone line, 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. That's where we find New York Scott, who is on hold. Good morning to you, Scott. How are you, my friend?
Hey, good morning, brother. How you doing? How you guys holding up?
Great. Fantastic morning. Happy Monday.
Yeah, fantastic morning, I'm sure. It could have been more fantastic, Bellino. You could have had a Lions playoff berth, but you didn't.
You could have, but we didn't control our own destiny. So we got exactly what we deserved for going 1-6. You just got to be real about it. Just be, we sent Aaron Rodgers packing. That's all we can ask for, right? We're a 3-win football team. We finished 9-8 this year. I am elated with the way that the season worked out. Would I have been over the moon and passed out and fell out of my chair and screamed for 3 hours this morning if the LA Rams would have won? You bet your rear end. But that didn't happen, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I feel good. It's the same thing as I was looking at as a Giants fan. It's like, how do we do in the division, right? And when you beat the Bears, you beat the Packers, you beat Minnesota at least once. I'm feeling really good about next year coming back and then controlling that division, especially who knows if Rodgers will even be back. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I overanalyze things, but I just feel like, man, that the Rams were not meant to win that game. You look at the fourth quarter alone, they get the late hit on Ramsey when Geno clearly runs into him. He's not running sideline to sideline. Sure, he's by the out.
He literally got pushed out. He got pushed out in front of him. It was ridiculous.
I know. And then on the same play, they don't call DK on the eye poke when he's all up in his face mask. Then you got the punt in the fourth quarter that he barely gets blocked into the leg when the kicker's already done with the process. And then you have, what was the other one? It was like a phantom hold or something, too. There was like 3 or 4 plays in the fourth quarter that the Zebras just were like, no, actually, the Seahawks will win this game. I don't care how well anyone else is playing. So it just was a little disturbing that they didn't swallow the whistles in the fourth quarter and overtime. They marched him down the field for the game-winning field goal, and he missed. He doinked it, right? Then they marched him down in overtime, penalty-driven overtime, and marched him down for the winner, right? So I'm like, I don't know if I like the conclusion of that game. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. But it is what it is, man. It sucks. But, yeah, marked improvement. Aiden Hutchinson, man, I looked at those stat line at the end of the year. That boy came through, so that's a good bright spot on the radar for you guys. But, can't lie to you and say I'm not excited. Giants are in. We're ready to go. Let's go, Minnesota. We'll take out your other Division North opponent for you. We'll do the dirty work, and let's see what happens in the divisional round if we get past the wild card. Who the hell knows, man? Who the hell knows?
Yeah, how great was it to see the Dallas Cowboys, by the way, just completely get melted by the Commandos?
Oh, it looked like trash, right? They look like hot garbage. And then also, wasn't that the Commandos that had like their second or third string quarterback in or something, too? And he's
fifth string quarterback. Pulled him in off the couch.
Now, Scott, is Kenny Galladay going to show up to the playoffs, or is he only like showing up in meaningless games where it's just going to cost me money because I bought the Eagles down to 6.5?
Well, you're a fool to bet on the Giants at 6.5 on a spread on a game that the Eagles coming back on a shoulder injury with a quarterback. So, I mean, that's on you. That's your bad money bet.
That was a great money bet. It's just some loser Kenny Galladay's like, oh, it's a meaningless game. I'm actually going to do something today. I haven't done something in 2.5 years.
I know. And well, you know, it's funny. I don't think anyone's scared of the Eagles, not only because they lost Gardner Minshew, but you look at that game, they're playing for a number 1 seed against 3rd and 4th string backups. We didn't even play Tyrod Taylor. We play like backups to backups. And within 6 points, I don't care if it's garbage time points, it's still points on the board. I think that gives hope to anybody in the NFC saying, look at these. It's fake. It's fake noise. They're on a slide. They were hot for the first 12 weeks of the season. Guess what? You're not hot.
They're 14. If they finish here 14-3, what are you talking about? If Jalen Hurts doesn't get injured, they don't lose those games.
Maybe not. Who knows? I mean, that's the coulda, woulda, shoulda game. But the way he was looking, I mean, he was overthrowing. He was underthrowing. He made some good throws. Don't get me wrong. He did make some good throws. But if you watch the game, I mean, he was missing targets by a couple feet. He had the 17 points he left on the board. So maybe he cleans it up. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe an extra week rest helps. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But I'm not scared of the Eagles. I guarantee if the Eagles play them in the divisional round, they're going down. The Giants will come out. The pass rush will be there. They're going to put him on his back. They're going to ring his bell so hard. He's not going to know that if he's in Philadelphia or Jersey. And that's it. He's going to see blue. I'm going to see blue everywhere, black and blue everywhere. Anyways, good day, good night. I'll talk to you later this week, guys. Go Giants.
All right, see you, Scott.
Okay.
Go Giants.
We're not dropping a Go Giants on you. That was not happening. He tried to get it. He tried.
We'll take care of the division over. The Lions were the best team in the division. They went 5-1.
That's true. That is a true statement. Yeah, I don't know how you lose a game 22-16 to the divisional winner and the number 1 seed and go, we're not afraid of them. Like, all right. Okay. I mean, Jalen Hurts, I mean, he played about as you would expect for him coming off of an injury in his first game back.
Yeah, he was using you as the rest game.
Yeah, the rest versus rust. That was it. I just look, man, I look at the playoffs, and I saw Jim Rome had tweeted this out, that the Lions might be better than half the teams in the playoffs right now. I mean, one of the hottest teams in the league. I would love to see a rematch against the Seahawks. I'd love to see them play the Chargers or the Jaguars. I'd love to see another game against the Dolphins. The Giants, again, we've already beaten them.
The Cowboys.
I'd love
the Cowboys,
see the
the
Skylar
Buccaneers.
Thompson Dolphins right now. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, those Dolphins, man. What a sneaky.
Also, just a fun thing with the Seattle making the playoffs, with the Lions winning, that was $1 million bonus for Geno.
Wow, good for him.
So
good for him. And and what about the Jets? I mean, can we please just discuss how great of a hire Dan Campbell was? And think about the Jets. Can you imagine if Dan Campbell would have had that kind of defense all season long that the Jets had, and still outperformed them and beat them heads up? What a great choice Dan Campbell was for head coach. I know he took a lot of flack early because he gave a great press conference and people got all bent out of shape over the fact that it was like kneecaps and all that. But yeah, just a great hire. And every Detroit Lions fan should be happy that Dan Campbell's the leader of this franchise. He and Brad Holmes together, in sync. Doesn't matter who was hired first, all that nonsense people bring to the table. None of that matters. Can you work together? Do you get along? Do you have a vision? Can you execute? It's beautiful. Hey, new customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code HUGE, promo code HUGE, and that's a great opportunity for you to get into the NBA action right now, because all you have to do is place a $5 pregame moneyline wager on any NBA team to win, get $150 in free bets when they do. That's promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117, 21 plus, Michigan only. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus issued is free bets. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/basketball terms. We're back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Whether it's jackpots or colors of the rainbow, 7's a special number. At Meijer, it's no different. Get more for your money with 7 for $7, no luck required. Mix or match specially marked items. Buy 7 or more and get each for only $1. From Meijer Instant Oatmeal and Meijer Pasta Sauce to Meijer Facial Tissue, there's so many ways to 7 for $7. Plus, California Sweet Seedless Mandarins just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. And shop the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Huge here for the Michigan High School Athletic Association. Now you can follow everything Michigan High School sports 24/7 at MHSAA.com. On Twitter, at MHSAA. On Facebook, MHSAA. And you can watch archive sports and live sports in season for boys and girls all across Michigan, all schools, at MHSAA.tv. But stay up to date on everything Michigan High School sports at MHSAA.com.
Hey, Michigan, let's go big. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver, and I'm talking real big-time winning on the hottest slots and table games on one incredible app, Eagle Casino and Sports.
Sign up now and get up to $1,500. That's right. We'll match your first 2 deposits for up to $1,500, plus 100 free spins.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
Share your thoughts all morning long on the Meyer Guest Line. Call 248-951-2176. That's 248-951-2176. Now, back to Danny, Ryan, and AB.
Seattle wins that game. That means the Detroit Lions do not have a chance to get into the playoffs, and Seattle will be rooting for Green Bay to lose, because if Green Bay wins, they're in. With all of that being said, these two teams still have to play each other, and the Lions story is just incredible. And I think even if Seattle loses, Dan Campbell has the boys ready to go, and they play their hearts out. Young team, a lot of young guys, and they're fired up to do it. I'm going with the Detroit Lions.
What a great pick. What a great pick from just a few days ago on Good Morning Football and NFL Network, taking the Detroit Lions under those circumstances. Let's get to the Meyer Supercenter guest line. You can join us too, 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. USDA Scott is on hold. Good morning to you, Scott. How are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great this morning, eh? As a Lions fan of 51, the first time I can remember being a Lions fan, 6 years old, my dad got me the little mini Lions ball. We tossed it around, and in 51 years, I can tell you this much. 3 generations of Fords. We've never had, and the Fords just, they won't spend, we know who they are. They spend money, but they won't spend money. And they've been looking and looking and looking for years for player development coaches and GMs, and we got one now. And now all Sheila has to do is pay these young bucks in the next 2-3 years, and we got something. Hey, because I can tell you this, we have our, and I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but we got our franchise quarterback. That young man has shown me more than enough this year.
Is this the happiest you've been throughout the course of your Lions fandom and watching this team? Is this the best you've felt since 1991?
Oh, no. I mean, no. Even then, I knew it was a little bit fake money, because it was a lot Barry Sanders and a little bit of luck with Mitchell, because he had Herman Moore and Brett Perriman. And, I mean, they were two of the best in the league. And I knew Cocaine Wayne wasn't going to take us too far, so it's just that was a great time, because we were a good team, but nothing like this. Just nothing like this. I don't care that we didn't make the playoffs. It's not. That's meaningless. As we're and for New York, Scott, who would you rather be? The Detroit Lions or the New York Giants right now?
Oh, wow.
Go and get beat by Kirk Cousins this weekend, because I guarantee you that's happening. And it's just a great feeling right now. And then you look at even Tirico says, when he said there's 10 guys on the field on defense in Green Bay's last drive, and 10 guys that were either first or second year players for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, Alex Anzalone's the only guy with any experience out there running around.
Yeah, well, him and Kaminsky, and then Deshaun. I don't know how long Deshaun Elliott been around, or Elliott.
Deshaun Elliott would be, between him and Anzalone that are consistently out there. I like the fact that the first play of the game, they went with that, sort of their hybrid 5-2 defense right away, where they brought in an extra edge. They bring in the 2 edge rushers with 3 down linemen. Just a really unique look right from the rip from Aaron Glenn. I saw that and it was like, okay, you got to find a way to quiet down this rushing attack here from Green Bay, or Aaron Rodgers is going to have a field day. I didn't have a really great feeling early on in that game, but boy, oh boy, did that team, did they just battle back or what? For the first time in 5 seasons, they finished with a positive point differential. They scored more points than they gave up. This team just continued to surprise folks. I mean, you're talking about the number 4 offense in terms of yards, number 5 in terms of points. Like if they just would have been a little bit better defensively earlier on in the year, this is a completely different tune this morning. But
I think Jamal said it best in his interview at the end. I don't know if you guys were up. You guys got to get up pretty early. But Jamal's interview after the game, he's crying because he's so proud of getting the game ball and talking about his granddaddy and crying. He said, and he stopped the crying. He says, "Don't let the tears fool you." He says, "I'm a dog. We're dogs." He said, "Beware of Detroit. We're coming." And he just walked away from the interview.
And he talked about how much he loves Detroit, and I think that's a guy that you absolutely have to bring back.
You got to re-sign him.
You got to re-sign him.
Swift is the question mark. I love him. I like him. But I don't want to see the Lions. What is it? Where they got the 18th pick?
6 and 18. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So 18th pick. They're talking about that Bijan kid from Texas. And if he's still available, I guess it's a choice that I'll trust Brad Holmes, but I think I'd rather see a cornerback at the 18.
Yeah, he's and DeAndre Swift does have 1 year left on his rookie deal, so they're probably going to let him ride it out on this and see. I mean, it's tough because when you sign, if you're DeAndre Swift, you sign a 4-year, $8.5 million deal. 6 of that, 6.1 is guaranteed. Average annual salaries, $2 million. You got to stay healthy. That's the one thing about this league and that first contract for these rookies, especially at that position.
When you watch
hard.
the Cowboys this year, would you rather have Dak Prescott or Goff right now?
Jared Goff.
Okay. Tom Brady's on his way out, so that's it. And Aaron Rodgers he was waving to the fans at the end of the game.
I asked this, Scott, to Dan and Ryan. I'll ask you the same thing. I want you to really think about this, and I want you to give me, and you don't have to do it today, but think about it today, and maybe call back tomorrow. Who would be your best 5 quarterbacks, your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL? And you start going through those teams, go team by team in your mind, and come back and let me know who your top 5 would be. You'll probably name your first 3 right off the bat, 4 and 4, maybe your top 4 right off the bat. That number 5 is going to get a little tricky, and it's going to really highlight a point that I want to make about that position. But I'll let you stew on that. I want to know who your top 5 quarterbacks are tomorrow. That's your homework assignment, Scott.
Well, top 4 actually are pretty easy, and then 5 through 8, 5 through 9 that's when it gets dicey, and I'll have that for you tomorrow.
Excellent, thank you, sir.
Hey, you guys have a great day.
You as well. Let's get to Eric and GR over the West Side. Imagine if this season, imagine if this was the in-season version of Hard Knocks instead of Arizona. Let's get to Eric. Eric, good morning to you, my friend. How are you, partner?
Hey, good morning, fellas. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Hey, we love that. We love that, Eric. Studio audience, they love you, too. Listen to these people going crazy for you right now, Eric.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that the last few weeks. If this would have been the in-season versus, as much as we love the training camp version of watching the Lions, I think it would have been so much better to have the in-season Hard Knocks.
Well, from our perspective here, doing anybody in the media, they would have. That would have been that's a free play every single week. So yeah, I would have loved that. When Hard Knocks ended, Hard Knocks ending felt a lot like the season ending. And I talked about this last week, how I felt like you feel like when you're a kid at the amusement park and the sun's going down, it's time to go, but you're having the best time ever, and you never want that day to end, right? If you think back to your childhood, one great day that you might have had, something that sticks out in your mind, you never wanted that day to end. You wish you could have done that forever, right? This was that season for me where I just did not want it to end. Like going to work this year was so much different. The vibe inside Ford Field, just the juice that people brought inside, that building every single home game was crazy. And if they would have had that in season, we would have been insufferable. Like as a fan base, we would have been, especially after the 1-6 start, to be able to go inside what that what the firing of Aubrey Pleasant looked like. What did those conversations look like? How did the team rally behind that? What were some of those moments that we didn't get to see, where the team started to, tie a couple of wins together and started to feel some positivity after that first win against Green Bay? That would have been riveting television.
I wish they could have switched, and I'm sure they wish they could have switched with the Cardinals, because the Cardinal season was pretty uneventful from midseason on.
It really was. Did you watch a lot of the Hard Knocks for Arizona in season?
I did, yeah.
When did it?
Interesting.
When did it end? Because they probably are upset because the last 2 weeks now J.J. Watt is retiring. They could have used that.
I haven't watched the last couple episodes, but I think it does. Doesn't it follow through the end of the season? So we might see through the J.J. Watt's last game.
Yeah, it was the one episode I caught. They were playing Trace McSorley was going to be their starting quarterback. And what a really humanizing episode, because every time they pan to his parents, it's like sending you back in time. It's a Hard Knocks when we had some of those guys that were on the cusp of, were they going to make the team? Were they not going to make the team? Some of the storylines that were there where you start to fall in love with, certain players. And it's just like, oh, man. I mean, the poor kids out there just throwing the football and just trying to survive. And it's like, dude, it's such a hard league. It's really one of a kind.
You know what? I'm going to have to go back and see if the final couple episodes are on there, because we had our own former Lion, David Blau, starting as quarterback, right?
Yeah, I believe so. David Blau was the starter there.
Yeah, he played the last 2 games.
Yeah. Well, good and good for him. And by the way, David Blau was 14 of 18 for 180 and a touchdown in the Cardinals' 38-13 loss to the 49ers.
Yeah,
this weekend.
Not too good.
But I mean, good for him. Still in the league, still collecting checks, man. That's what it's all about. God bless him. Well, Eric.
All right, fellas, I gotta run.
Appreciate the call, my friend. Thank you for listening and making us a part of your day, man. Love that. I'm just happy you guys are up there and got a winning team, says Derek. Thank you, Derek. I think Derek's down in Cincinnati. I think he's down in the Queen City, listening to us on iHeartRadio. I can't remember the end of a Lions season that has left me wanting more and looking forward to next season like this. Next year is real this time. Taylor Decker stopped by with Danny Rogers, and they were having a conversation in the postgame. And Taylor Decker, I'm gonna try to find it, and I'll try to play it for you coming up in the next hour, where he discussed like what the standard is and the realization that there's going to be some changes. Right? Every year in the NFL is so independent from one another. You have staff turnover, you have roster turnover, you have so many different things that are taking place in an NFL organization. You may have specific scouts that leave that you don't even know that they're gone now. You have no idea. You didn't even know who they were in the first place. And all of this adds up to what can be a successful season or what can be a disappointment. And the further that you excel, the higher you go, the higher that bar is to reach, right? And I try to be as level-headed and temper all of my expectations. I try to, at least, with all of our teams, because it's so, the margin for error is so slim, so slim, that every single game matters. And you can look back to a couple games, and we've done that over the past couple of weeks, where you circled this game, look back at this, it's a one play here, one play there. It's a Jalen Hurts 60-yard scramble. Like, every single play matters throughout the course of a 4-quarter football game. And we know there's going to be turnover. And we know that there are going to be some guys that who are there this year who won't be here next year. And it's going to be very interesting to see if now the biggest, most difficult challenge in the NFL, sustained success. Let's get to Dave in Hudsonville. Dave, good morning to you, my friend. How are you, partner?
Hey, morning, AB. Hey, you nailed it right there, man. And the thing is, if they can't get in the playoffs, or even if they could potentially, they're playing great ball, this might be the best ending they could have of the season. Leave everybody wanting more. It's rare you get to end a season on a win on a positive note. Mm-hmm. You can end a season on a win and a losing season, but they found a way to end the season on a very positive note. And, in that whole thing, the greatest work that Campbell did and his staff was changing culture. And I think that's huge moving forward, because this draft just allows us an opportunity to get so much better, along with free agent money. And Brad Holmes, demonstrating that he's more than capable as a GM. So very exciting. Hey, you can't get away without talking about a Spartan victory over the Wolverines. On the
This whole segment was supposed to be all the other teams that played. We've been stuck on Lions. It's in the rundown. Is it MSU on Saturday, Wings and Pistons? We were supposed to go trifecta.
Let me
Go ahead. Air it out. Come on, Dave. Air it out.
Let me help you produce the show a little bit. So the Spartans with a great defensive effort. The Wolverines cannot shoot the basketball consistently. That's a problem for them.
Yes.
You know, and the thing about it is it was a grinder Big Ten game. The Big Ten, I watched Purdue a few times. Purdue's tremendous, and they have a freshman backcourt. This Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer are impressive to watch. And there's going to be defeats for both teams coming up, but Michigan's got some real significant questions. Their point guard can't shoot it at all. That was part of the game plan, to leave him alone. And then when the other guys can't shoot it very well, they're really in trouble because they did a good job locking down the big man. And Michigan State's getting healthier again, so they're going to be right about where they are. You know, they're going to be one of those teams that contend, and we'll see how hot they get. But questions for Michigan. And my last piece is, if Harbaugh's so happy, why is he interviewing?
Money.
Well, I
NCAA violations.
At the end of the day,
Thank you.
We tripped the Burger King.
Yeah, but you know he's going to get the money from Michigan without interviewing. So at the end of the day, he kills himself with the fan base again.
Yeah, it's still. I would really compare it to Aaron Rodgers. Like the same thing that Green Bay goes through every offseason. Like, dude, if you want to be here, just sign the dotted line and let's get this over with. If you don't want to be here, then quiet all those rumors.
Those two cats have the same personality because they are different guys, man. They're odd ducks at times. And he doesn't understand how to manage his fan base. I mean, I think if he gets an offer, I think he goes because now he put himself back out there again. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't, he'll get a nice pay raise. He wouldn't have to anyway, but he's going to have to go through all of that again. But it's just poor management, I think, from his, marketing and branding standpoint. It doesn't help.
Yeah, it's exhausting when you come out with a statement and say, nobody knows the future. Well, you could help us solidify that a little bit. You could say, hey, I'm signing a 5-year deal, or just say, no, I'm committed to Michigan. I'm going to be the coach here next year. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to interview. Like, we went through this last year. I did the interview in Minnesota, and I said I wasn't going to do it again. And here we are 12 months later, Dave. And guess what we're doing again? We're interviewing. Why are we doing that? You told us you weren't going to do it. Yeah.
Maybe the speculation then is, where do you go if he goes or when he goes?
I think that you could have you could make a legitimate case to keep that in-house with either Moore or Hart.
Oh, you can't do that. Hart's never called a timeout. Neither is Sharon Moore. You can't put a guy into that role, supposedly one of the top 6 to 8 jobs in the nation, and you're going to put a guy who's never called a timeout in there?
You could do that. They're on staff.
Oh,
I have no problem.
As a Spartan, please do that.
That'd be the last thing you guys want is Mike Hart to be the head coach, and then for them to start rattling off some more success, keeping this ship going. I mean, come on, you're talking about you can't hire a guy, and Mike Hart's never called a timeout. You guys hired a guy with five wins as a head coach at one season. It was a losing season. Come on, Dave.
Mike Hart can get little brother tattooed backwards on his forehead so he never forgets it because Michigan State never has.
No one's ever going to forget that. No one's ever.
All right, man.
All right, man. See you, Dave. We're going to hit the break. So hour number 3 coming at you next. X and Bros, Michigan Sports Network.
It's time to go in the huddle.
1, 2, 3, top flight.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and be sure to use the promo code HUGE for a special offer when you sign up. That's code HUGE, H-U-G-E, only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. The Detroit Lions finished the 2022 regular season at 9-8 after closing the year with a road victory against the Green Bay Packers on Sunday Night Football in primetime 20-16. The Lions won the turnover battle 2-0 by forcing and recovering a fumble and sending a full house blitz on a third down for another Kirby Joseph interception to help fuel a defense that held the Pack to just 291 total yards. Rookie Aiden Hutchinson added 2 sacks to get his season total to 9.5, just a half a sack shy of the rookie record. He and fellow teammate James Houston became the first rookie teammates in NFL history to each have 8+ sacks in the same season. Jamal Williams set a franchise record with 17 rushing touchdowns in one single year. And although the Seahawks eliminated the Lions from playoff contention about 40 minutes prior to kickoff, Detroit returned the favor in Green Bay, eliminating the Pack from the playoffs. A signature win for the brand new Lions.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle.
and finding Piggy Riches for up to $10,000. Every Friday in January, one lucky winner every hour from 7 to 11 p.m. will break the Piggy and reveal their prize from $500 premium play all the way up to $10,000 in cash. Don't miss Piggy Riches, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Whether it's jackpots or colors of the rainbow, 7's a special number. At Meijer, it's no different. Get more for your money with 7 for $7, no luck required. Mix or match specially marked items. Buy 7 or more and get each for only $1. From Meijer Instant Oatmeal and Meijer Pasta Sauce to Meijer Facial Tissue, there's so many ways to 7 for $7. Plus, California Sweet Seedless Mandarins just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. And shop the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's time for Michigan Sports Talk Morning Show, broadcasting live all across the state of Michigan and Northwest Ohio. This is X's and Bros.
Swings it out to Sadiq Bey. Gets Benny in the car.
To Abdul-Rahman at midcourt. Extra pass. And it goes for the win. The three-pointer by Jordan Poole. Here's the give. Walker. Kenneth Walker. Touchdown. Spotty.
Goff's got it. Back. Looks. Throws. Ends up. Yes. Caught. Touchdown. Detroit Lions. They did it. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the receiving end.
Sends one to deep left center field. Back it goes, and that ball's out of here. A grand slam from Miguel Cabrera. He's got 2 goals. Larkin in on goal. Scores! His first career hat trick in his 7th season for Dylan Larkin.
Here's your host, Anthony Bellino.
Sunday night.
Yeah, they're going to win.
Green Bay's going to win.
Green Bay's going to win. They haven't lost with Matt LaFleur as their head coach in the month of December. They're 17-0.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to win.
It
feels like it's all teed up for Aaron Rodgers and them to take care of their business.
Cindy put the picks up. Who's got the Lions this weekend? Let me see it. Cindy Morano's on. Oh, nope.
Okay, so the Lions are going to win.
There is no way that the Detroit Lions are going to walk into Lambeau Field and spoil the party. There is no chance that Aaron Rodgers, Matt LaFleur, and the Packers are going to lose this game.
Are you at the 7th seed?
I just told them the Packers. Destiny.
When things are destined to happen, you or no one else can affect that. So they lost to Carolina. Their destiny was over once they lost. She moved. She leaves. They lost. You lost. It's over.
I'm looking at Detroit now. I see how hot they are, and I see how excited Hutchinson is. They have to play Green Bay. I don't see them losing at home for a chance to go to the playoffs against a team in Detroit who hasn't been there.
My team's social media crew is better than your team's social media crew. Let's put it that way. I absolutely love that the Lions put that out there. It's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love the music choice there with all of the clips of Good Morning Football and CBS and Fox and all these people saying that they had no chance, this, that, and the third. Yeah. Not only did they cover outright winners on Sunday Night Football in prime time in front of the entire country. Green Bay looking undisciplined. Green Bay looking out of sorts, disheveled. Matt LaFleur, doesn't matter how many times he has to yell, be smart. Quay Walker pouting on his way into the locker room, his lip out, crying all the way up the tunnel. Just a beautiful sight. A beautiful sight. A beautiful time to be a Lions fan. And who would have thought, right? Who would have thought going into this year, this is the team that we would have. And just plenty more to go in this hour on the Detroit Lions. But I do want to get back to, as we welcome you back to X's and Bros here on the Michigan Sports Network, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening all across the great state of Michigan and in Northwest Ohio as well. Join the program at any time. Text the keyword Sports Radio. Send that to 21,000 Sports Radio to 21000. Meyer Supercenter guest line 248-951-2176. 248-951-2176 on Twitter at XB Mornings and Facebook as well at X's and Bros. Good morning to our television audience, BCSN. Find us now streaming on YouTube as well. If you'd like to watch us there, you can just search Michigan Sports Network. That's how you find us. And you can watch us live in the mornings if you're outside of the BCSN coverage area. Danny Cahalan is at Dan in the studio. Ryan Elke is at RyanL_Key. I'm Anthony Bellino at AC Bellino. I want to get back to Dave because we've been talking so much Lions that we have not yet had an opportunity to talk about the Breslin Ball this past Saturday. A 2:30 tip-off there for the Michigan Wolverines on the road to visit the Michigan State Spartans. And Dave hit it right on the head. This team just does not shoot the basketball very well. They have a couple of guys that could fill it up, but you had Joey Baker going 0 for 3, missing his first 3. I thought that was really kind of a telltale sign. They needed him to be big in that game, even though he only plays 15 minutes a game. That he's a shooter. That's what he does. He's got to knock down shots. And he didn't. And so you put a donut in the scoring column for him. the team struggles as a whole to shoot it from the three-point line to the tune of 3 for 20. And the most frustrating thing, is when you make Michigan State's job easy, when you dump it in down to the post. We saw it multiple times with Hunter. We saw it multiple times with, even Terrace Reed when he was in there. Terrace Reed's been, a nice player for this team. But for God's sakes, somebody's got to move. You got to move the ball. You got to move without it. You can't just dump it down low and have everybody stand around. That does not equate well for a big man that can that can actually pass. You got to give him something to pass to. And if Michigan's just going, hey, heads up man to man, we're just going to you could try to shoot over the top, which Hunter did, try that a couple of times. Like, look, yeah, let him go 8 for 16. Let him get 18 points. Who else is going to beat us? Right? Kobe Buffkin, 0 for 3. Joey Baker, as I mentioned, 0 for 3 from 3. Jet Howard, 2 for 6. Those are not good numbers.
That was the surprising thing of that game was Jet Howard.
No one could shoot?
Well, the State's good perimeter defensively. When you have Jaden Akins, Tyson Walker, A.J. Hogard, like they're in tune when it comes to making sure they're on their shooters. But Jet Howard's, 6'8"?
Yeah, give or take.
He was guarded by guys that were 6 foot nothing all game long. And it was just shut down.
Testament to Michigan State's D. I mean, straight up. And then you got Malik Hall, who comes in off the bench in 23 minutes, and talk about impact player of the game. I mean, my goodness. Really, really no answer for Malik Hall. And, the one thing that in this contest, 19 to 18 in fouls, not a great number. I thought that there were some calls both ways that I'm like,
those officials were just all over the place. And then like the 7-minute review to get 0.1 second put on the clock at the end of the game. It was just, I don't think anyone should have been happy with the officials after that one. I don't think it favored either side. It was just.
No, it was collectively bad.
Yeah.
Collectively bad. I didn't really like the foul call for the 50-50 ball there at the end of the half. But you're listening to a guy who spent a day on Friday night watching 26 fouls get called in one half of basketball. 26 total fouls between two teams in the second half of a college basketball game. You know what that was like? I mean, we got to find a level of consistency, right? And we know that you're going to be able to get away with more if you are, backing down a bigger guy. We know that, Hunter Dickinson's going to be officiated differently than other people. We know he's bigger than everybody. Like you can't.
And
do the
it
same
wasn't
thing
even the down low post calls that were really the issue. It was the touchy hand fouls that were just so inconsistent.
I hate that with all my heart.
Where it's like Jaden Akins gets called for like 2 different fouls in perfect position. It's like, oh, well, his elbow slipped, so now his like forearm was slightly touching the back.
Let him defend.
Right. Or it's like, oh, it was a little swiping from Michigan, but just he might have caught a fingernail.
Hey, really good shooting from the free throw line as a whole for Michigan State. 11 of 13. I mean, anytime you're shooting 85% as a team, I think that's a fantastic number. Neither team really played a very clean game. I mean, turnovers weren't out of control. I think there were 12 for Michigan State and 10 for Michigan.
I think there's 10 combined in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that was a little sporadic. But in the beginning of the game, I felt like no one could find a rhythm at all. Like we were talking about offense that might have set it back to like the days of the Peach Basket. We're talking about 27 to 18 in the first half. And let me tell
That's Big Ten basketball.
Yeah, that 9 points felt like 900. And I was watching, I was like how are you going to come back from this?
And on my side, too, it did feel like 900.
900?
It felt like this game's over.
Over.
Like, if we could just keep it at 9, no, there's no chance.
And guess what? You kept it basically right there the whole game. You ended up winning by 6.
Yeah.
That's a tough game. I personally would like 59-53, okay. Like, I'm not overly mad. I'm not like, oh, the world is ending, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. But if that would have been 89-83 or like 79-73, that would have been a much more enjoyable game for all parties involved, because that first half was just brutal.
But for Michigan, like, yeah, if you score 80 points and lose, it's like, okay, at least one side of the ball was good today.
What are you doing? Neither side is good.
It's more fun if you watch a game. It's like, well, at least, you know, we had this guy go for 25, this guy go for 18. It's like we had a guy go for 8.
And a guy go for 2.5. Unbelievable. Like, neither team shot 40% for the field. We'll step aside. We'll be back with more X's and Bros after this on the Michigan Sports Network.
We played for the thrill, that rush you feel with the game on the line. I'm Herman Moore, Lions All-Pro wide receiver. Now, with Eagle Casino and Sports, the new sportsbook app from Soaring Eagle, anywhere I'm at, I'm still in the game.
Sign up now and get up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 for a risk-free bet on your next favorite underdog, parlay, or prop.
Eagle Casino and Sports. Made in Michigan, made for Michigan.
Must be 21 or older and in Michigan to play.
When you're in construction, you know that every minute matters and every dollar counts. You've got materials to purchase, employees to pay, and deadlines to meet. What you don't have is time to worry about your accounting, taxes, or ways to grow your business. That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is construction, our business is helping you run your business better. From tax planning, payroll processing, or R&D credit studies, we're here for you with concrete advice and answers. Let us help you build a solid foundation for your business. Whether you're a subcontractor, developer, architect, or engineer, of all the things you build, make your business the strongest. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online, beangarter.com. Bean Garter.
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle and having a winter blast with up to $25,000. Every Saturday in January from 7 to 10 p.m., you can win $1,500 in premium play. Then, at 11 p.m. each week, one lucky player takes home $25,000 cash. That's $160,000 all month long. Only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
You're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Can't call in? Text us using the keyword sports radio and send it to 21000 or tweet us at XB Mornings. Now back to Danny Cahalan, Ryan Elke, and Anthony Bellino.
Back we are here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you with us. Text us, Sports Radio, send it to 21,000. Call us, Meyer Supercenter guest line, 248-951-2176, 248-951-2176. Let's go over to that Meyer Supercenter guest line. That's where we find Mike in West Branch. Money Mike, what's going on this morning, my friend? How are you, partner?
Well, good morning, AB. I'm tired, but it was well worth it.
Oh, you made the trip, didn't you?
It. So that is the best I have ever seen the Lions look in a 10-game stretch in my almost 50 years.
Wow.
I cannot remember them looking that good. And everyone talks about how, they got to play spoiler, which I thought was fantastic if since you've listened to me now. But honestly, what that was them putting the rest of the league, not just the NFC, the rest of the league on notice. Next year, it's our year.
Yeah, and that's that's going to be the biggest challenge for this team, moving forward. How do they survive this offseason in which that their staff is going to get a ton of interviews? It might even get pillaged. We have no idea what that's going to look like and how many of those guys will be able to retain guys like Ben Johnson, who just really seem to develop an unbelievable chemistry and rhythm in play calling where he and Jared Goff, they call timeout. They're going to go for it on fourth down. They call timeout. Ben Johnson, Dan Campbell, and Jared Goff are talking about the play that they want to run, and you can almost feel that connection through the television. They got their play sheets over their mouths, and Jared's over there talking to them, and it's like they call timeout the perfect time. They're going to get the exact play that they want dialed up. What do you like here? I like X, Y, or Z. What do you like? I like that. I like that too. Let's go out there and run it. And there was a point where this Lions team this year, looking back at it, where I felt like whatever they wanted to do, they could do it. And that's very, very rare for a team to be able to do.
Extremely rare. Extremely rare. The only little bit of a nugget that makes me feel okay about it, I do not want to lose Brad at all. Give the man a raise, do what you need to do to keep him. But if you can't, the fact that it seems that Campbell has had his hands on that playbook also gives me a little nugget of hope. Because at some point we are going to lose Brad unless we find a way to promote him. And if we promote him, then we got to get rid of Dan, which you don't want to do either. And I'll tell you what, I knocked Dan many times for the many mistakes he made this year in the games that he cost us. Let me tell you, that was brilliant. Making them use the extra the extra timeout that they had before the 2-minute warning so that they could just burn it. I couldn't believe he was turning that down, and then it made sense. That was brilliant. I don't know of any other coach with the cojones to do that.
Incredible. And you know what? They're facing 2nd and 1 when that penalty is called. So they're going to get the encroachment. So they're going to get they're going to wind the clock, or they're going to stop the clock because of the penalty. They're going to force them to burn another timeout by declining the penalty. And on 2nd and 1, they decide we're just going to run it right at you. Like, that's the thing. Like, yeah, we're going to we can decline this penalty and decline this first down because we know we're going to get it regardless. That to me is some of the
he has learned throughout the season, which gives me real hope. That whole coaching staff has throughout the season. They continue to learn rather than being the know-it-alls, the Brad Osmuses, I'm smarter than you are. They learned from their mistakes and they improved. And it wasn't just the coaching staff, it was the players also. But I think it ultimately starts with that coaching staff.
Absolutely.
If the coaching staff can learn, then the players watch them and they can build off of it. It's such a young team.
Got to open up that checkbook, though, for Ben Johnson. Have to.
Oh, big time.
Have to.
Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose Aaron Glenn either. I who knew that Aubrey Pleasant, what happened with that was going to work out the way it did, because I really thought he was the scapegoat. But, boy, I'll tell you what, they They really picked it up, and I can't wait to see what he can do with more talent.
It'll be, hopefully they can keep it intact and everybody realizes that, hey, you know what, we joined. Maybe it will be bigger than titles. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm kind of hoping that this staff, when they signed up to go work in Detroit and they signed up with Dan Campbell, that they signed up for something bigger that was a paycheck or something that was bigger than a job title, right? And sure, everybody wants to be a head coach and, reach the pinnacle of their profession. I understand that. But at the end of the day, if you take a little less money and maybe have a little different job title, but you can build something that is special in Detroit, top to bottom, they will always be remembered.
Look in baseball at Theo Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
What he did for Boston and Chicago, and he is looked upon as the baseball guru now. You can become that very easily here in Detroit.
Yeah, you build a winner here.
Even sniffed a Super Bowl. And you want to talk about being the toast of the town? Dan Campbell thinks he's got it right now. You win a Super Bowl in this town, you can write your own ticket anywhere you want, anything you want. I don't think people realize how big that's going to be. I remember the Tigers winning the World Series back in '84. That'll be nothing compared to what happens when these Lions win their Super Bowl.
Oh, can you imagine the parade?
I can't. Honestly, I really
can't either.
can't.
I mean,
I don't know if you look and see the Red Wings. That's nothing. That's pittance.
We don't even have the infrastructure to be able to handle a parade of that size, Mike, in West Branch, because people like you in West Branch would be driving down for that celebration.
I'm originally from down there. I grew up down in Southfield, and I'll come home for that. Trust me.
Yes, you will, and I think that's probably what I'm most happy for, Mike, is for the folks like you. For Dave, for the USDA Scott, not that other bum Scott from New York that calls, but USDA Scott. For all of you guys, Freddie, that have been Lions fans for so long, that have seen so much and been through so much in your years, for you to be able to finally.
My dad gave up.
Yeah,
my dad gave up on him. I mean,
I don't blame him.
Even more recently, he was up here for Christmas. He came up to visit, see my daughter in her Christmas pageant. And I was talking to him about the Lions and what they were doing. He looked at me and laughed and said, "They got you again, man. Why do you bother?"
Different this time, Mike. Brand new Lions, not the same old Lions. These are the brand new Lions.
Absolutely.
Love
I can't wait.
Well, Mike, I'm glad that we were able to end the season on a high note. That much is for sure.
And you know what's even more exciting is, unlike normal, where we look forward to just the first round of the draft and then we skip the rest of them because they're not going to mean anything. I'm going to watch this entire draft because I have confidence in my GM to get value out of the late rounds, and I want to see what that man's going to do.
Amen. Amen. A lot of value late rounds. You got to strike, man. Rounds 3 through 7 and your undrafted free agents. That's where a bulk of your roster is made up, and if you aren't hitting on those guys, you're going to find yourself into trouble. And they've hit a couple of shots that have I don't know if I can call them home runs yet. But that's warning track power. That much is for sure.
You can call Amon-Ra St. Brown a home run. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that guy, yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Beautiful.
Even my wife, the minute he touches the ball, she's like, he's got it. He's got it.
Caught one between his butt cheeks last night.
Oh, I could not believe that catch. How do you?
I couldn't believe the refs got it right in real time. That I could not believe. I'm like, how the hell did anybody actually see that ball never touched the ground? It's incredible.
Especially the way they screwed that game up so much. Yes.
You didn't watch Seattle and L.A. before it, did you?
I did. It killed me.
Talking about some screwy refs.
Man,
oh, my God.
He missed that field goal. I about died. And then Baker Mayfield, I understand the refs and everything. There's nothing you can do about the refs. They're just bad. Unless you make them full-time, so you have some form of accountability, they're going to be bad. They're going to continue to be bad. But Baker Mayfield, now you know why he's on his third team. That last pass.
Oh,
floating that up there.
Arm punt.
I get that's why he just doesn't have the arm.
Nope.
Because you can't make a pass like that in the NFL. There was no one near that receiver. He had to stop, slow down, and then Quandre Diggs, of all players to kill the Lions, Quandre Diggs
He owes some of his old teammates dinner. We know that much.
But,
Mike, we got to hit the break, man. I appreciate the phone call. Congratulations, my friend. I'm happy for you, partner. That much is for sure. We'll step aside. We're back with more X's and Bros after this here on the Michigan Sports Network.
Whether it's jackpots or colors of the rainbow, 7's a special number. At Meijer, it's no different. Get more for your money with 7 for $7, no luck required. Mix or match specially marked items. Buy 7 or more and get each for only $1. From Meijer Instant Oatmeal and Meijer Pasta Sauce to Meijer Facial Tissue, there's so many ways to 7 for $7. Plus, California Sweet Seedless Mandarins just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. And shop the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
From planting a simple seed to managing a global food supply, growing, processing, and distributing food is the backbone of America. You deal with food safety and labor issues, cost control, and not to mention Mother Nature. But do you have time to explore research development and biotechnical tax credits? Properly administer payroll for temporary employees. Ensure that you're operating at your most profitable? That's where we come in. We're Bean Garter. And while your business is America's food supply, our business is helping you run your business better. We'll assist with tax credits, assess your processes and controls, and so much more. And while we may not be able to help you plant your crops, we can help you realize a rich financial harvest. From the family farm to worldwide distribution of all the things you grow, grow your business better. Experience service, expertise, and simplicity at Bean Garter. Find us online. BeanGarter.com. Bean Garter.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at FreddyThePizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email FreddyThePizzaman@gmail.com.
From Traverse City to the Glass City, GR to the Motor City, you're listening to X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Welcome back here to X's and Bros, Michigan Sports Network. Great to have you right along with us, no matter who you are, where you are, how you may be listening here on this Victory Monday, all across the great state of Michigan.
Let's go, Lions fans! Get a bunch of seats! Get a bunch of seats!
Forward on the field, a charging team that will not yield. And with the blue and silver wave,
everybody
stand into the brave. Rah, rah, rah! Go hard with the game.
Without a you will keep your fame. Down the field and gain a Lions victory. Go Lions!
Bing bong!
I can only imagine. It's been we've been on the air for 2 hours and 36 minutes. It seems like it's been about 10 minutes. And if
always a good day.
Well, if the Seahawks had lost yesterday, imagine how the show would be going.
Oh my God. If the Seahawks would have lost that game yesterday, and the LA Rams would have not only provided us a top 10 pick, but also an opportunity to punch our ticket. And then, last night's game played out the way that it did. I can't. I cannot imagine what that would have been like. How, I mean, Dan Campbell, is he coach of the year? He probably won't get it, but he's got to be up for consideration. Has to be.
He'll get some votes, but Brian Dable, first-year head coach in the playoffs. Kyle Shanahan. No offense. Three quarterbacks, and they won, 14 games? Doug Peterson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pete Carroll? Did you say Pete Carroll?
No, I haven't said Pete Carroll yet.
I mean,
some good candidates. Some good candidates out there. I hope that there is at least some consideration for Dan Campbell and the job that he has done. To be, to finish the season 9-8 after starting 1-6 is just simply incredible. Simply incredible. 8-2 the final 10. That to me is mind blowing. So good for them. The guys from Good Morning Football on last night's victory.
I think we're going to do a lot of Packers this week. We're going to do a lot of Packers this offseason. You guys are the new hosts. Just you don't even know. 7 a.m. Rogers. 8 a.m. Rogers. 9 a.m. Let's give the Lions their due.
Let's do it.
Nothing to play for is what everyone said. And these Lions, young guns, came into Lambeau, and they played so free and so fearless. And I want to shout out the coaching staff, Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator, and Dan Campbell for some of these fourth quarter decisions, and replay them for you guys here. 4th down early in the fourth quarter, 4th and 2. We're going to throw the ball. We're going to convert. We're going to bleed the clock and keep it going. And then a 2nd and 17 play call where they're backed up here. To call this in the fourth quarter of a big game, can we go to the call from Mike Tirico? Because I think his audio is what you need. 2nd and 17, fourth quarter in Lambeau. Game.
The Lions have thrown in a couple of spots here you'd expect them to run. They do against St. Brown, who pitches it back to Swift, who's on the run. Swift inside the 20 to the 17-yard line.
That was an incredible play call. A hook and ladder. Amon-Ra St. Brown catches it and pitches it immediately to DeAndre Swift. What a play call. Penei Sewell down the field blocking. Beautiful. I mean, it was it just you think back to the last couple of first round selections here. Penei Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson believing that you have to be good in the trenches first, believing that you have to win at the line of scrimmage first, and then you can do whatever else you want to. That, to me, is, I mean, there was a moment in time in which Jerry Jones desperately wanted Johnny Manziel. Desperately. And his son actually talked him out of Johnny Manziel. And they went offensive line instead. And that is one of those decisions that you look back on. It's not a glorious position. You know, Evan Brown, who stood in there, I don't know if he'll be back next year or not, who came in and played, you know, a little guard as Hal Vaitai was a huge question mark. That starting five on paper still has never played a regular season snap together. You look at Frank Ragnow playing on a bum foot. Jonah Jackson, his steadiness, where he was drafted at, talk about value. Taylor Decker, and then realizing that, hey, you know what? Penei Sewell plays left tackle, but that's not a problem. He's athletic enough. He's smart enough. This is professional football. We're going to draft a left tackle and move him to the right side because we already have our anchor at left tackle. And for all the people that made such noise and all this hullabaloo over the fact that, you know, Penei Sewell's got to be the left tackle. You got to move. People are literally arguing and saying that you needed to switch from your bookend left tackle and bring in the rookie to play the left side and then move the other guy to what? Let the rookie play the right side. It doesn't matter. Well, that's the most prestigious position. You got to get over titles. You do. Yeah, play the game. If all five guys on the offensive line aren't playing their game, it doesn't matter where you lined up at because you're not going to be any good. They keep clean pockets for Jared Goff. They open up running lanes for DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. And they drafted that position. They knew that they needed. That was their guy on the board. They got the guy that they wanted. Right? The very next year, they go right back to the line of scrimmage. They draft Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, you only drafted him because he's a Michigan guy. You only drafted him because he went to the University of Michigan. They should have went with Thibodeau. They should have went with a quarterback. They should have went here. They should have went there. No, it went exactly where they needed to. Half a sack behind the all-time rookie record in the National Football League. Aiden Hutchinson. 3 multi-sack games. When he's on, he's on. You know, people early on say, oh, he's a bust. They should have went this way. No, they got the guy that fits exactly what they want to do. And he lived up to the potential, lived up to the hype. I was nervous. I was very nervous because I knew what it was going to turn into. I knew that if Aiden Hutchinson had half a sack this year and 12 tackles, you know, he didn't have those interceptions, didn't have all those sacks, didn't have all his TFLs. I knew what it was going to be. Oh, you only drafted him because he went to Michigan. Oh, the blue wall. Oh, you knew what it was going to be. You knew it. But he quieted all that chatter down. And they went and got a guy like John Kaminsky. And, you know, they go out and get a guy like Isaiah Buggs, who I'm glad Isaiah Buggs got his spotlight because we've talked a lot about interior line, needing to add somebody if they can add a legitimate, serious, like number one defensive lineman. It's not to take away from Aleem McNeil and Isaiah Buggs, but then you have the opportunity, you know, to get another run stopper in there. You have the opportunity to keep 2 guys in Buggs and McNeil to give you some depth along that defensive line, right? To go along with the James Houstons of the world, the Aiden Hutchinson, the John Kaminskis, you know, Romeo Okwara, some of those guys being able to come in off the edge and bring that pressure. You know, Malcolm Rodriguez, the season that he had. Oh, you know, we heard all the chatter that, you know, people thought that, you know, we liked him just because we fell in love with him during Hard Knocks. He's a lovable character. He's a rookie 6th rounder. That if he was a little bit taller and his arms were a little bit longer and his hands were a little bit bigger, he would have been an earlier selection. 2nd or 3rd rounder. ESPN All-American at Barry Sanders University. Right? Then you lose your franchise starting safety, Tracy Walker, a guy that re-signed in Detroit, wanted to be here. You lose him for the year. You're getting back Jeff Okuda, who couldn't even play last night. You know, you're having to rely on guys like Jerry Jacobs and Kirby Joseph. I mean, my goodness. What a year. What a year. You look at all of the youth on that defensive side of the football, and you look at the GM who's put those ingredients out on the table, and then Aaron Glenn, who's forced to cook with them, did a really nice job. Really nice job. And to finish this season at 9-8, this isn't another, like, when we really think about what last night's victory meant, I mean, that's a signature win. I don't know if you guys realize this, but there was once a point where, the Lions can't win a road game. Oh, can't win a road game. They can't. And then all of a sudden they finish 4-4 on the road this season. They won at Chicago. They won against the G-Men. They went back to the same stadium and beat the Jets. They own that stadium. They beat the Packers. And had their defense showed up at all, they would have beat the Panthers. What a great time. Like, this is a draft now where we are looking at adding players to contribute that are going to bolster this team to take them to the next level, and it feels real. This team couldn't get over the hump with Jim Caldwell, right? They got there. They just couldn't get over the hump. That's why Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn were brought in. That's why. And it's a dangerous place to be when you think that, hey, all you got to do is take that one more step. That next step's the hardest step to take. It really is. That final step is the hardest one to take. And when Danny Rogers was talking with Taylor Decker after the game, he knows there's going to be turnover there. There is going to be a new level of expectation, and as expectation rises, so does pressure. That's not always easy, folks. It's not always easy. What was the expectation going into this season, right? How much different was that now that the season is over, where we thought they might be, where they thought they could be, where we thought they were going to be after 7 games this year? Here's Danny with the starting left tackle.
This game started, the playoff fate was already decided. However, when those jerseys went on for the last time, what mindset did this team take to?
I think there was a lot of gratitude. Just an honor to play with these guys, and I love these guys. And regardless of us not being able to make it in the playoffs, this game meant everything. This was about respect. This was about nobody giving us a chance, despite the fact that we've been playing some of the best football in the NFL the last 9 weeks. And we went out here and we proved the doubters wrong again.
Some of the best football included a 1,000 rushing yard season for your running back, Jamal Williams. He set the single-season franchise record for rushing touchdowns. What is that group made of?
I just can't say enough about Jamal. I mean, I know you know him. Everybody around the building knows him. Animated, super fun, about the most lovable guy. And he deserves it. And for him to be able to do it here against this team, incredible, man. Incredible.
You stuck by the same sentiment all season long. These are not the same old Lions. 9 wins later, what standard has been set in Detroit?
I think the standard now is going to be competing for playoffs. I really do. But it's going to be a consistency thing. Like, can we go out there and can we do it next year? Can we build upon this? Because it's going to be a new season. There's going to be changes. But I think the foundation has...
Taylor.
I think the foundation has been laid. It's how he finishes that up before it cuts out. And what just a magical year. What a magical year for this group. And really, honestly, couldn't be happier. I don't know about you guys, but could not be happier. This is, considering all things, man.
Yeah, it helps that, they're not Aaron Rodgers. There is not an ounce of ego, it seems, on this team.
No, it really doesn't. It doesn't seem like that.
Like, you just seem happy for them. Like, I don't know. It is the renewed hope, but it's renewed hope with a bunch of likable guys also. I think we all liked Matthew Stafford, but he's just not a guy that's like going to put himself out there and be this lovable guy. That wasn't who he was. All these guys, Hutchinson's a local kid. Jamal Williams is a lovable character. Jameson Williams came out, and had a couple of big plays. We see his future. It's just a different feeling right now.
It's a much different feeling. It is for the first time, it feels legitimately. You know, it feels like it is different. It feels as if it's real. You know, and I think that for a lot of Lions fans that have been watching for a long time, it feels like this is different. And I'm happy for those folks, right? And for those that doubted the Lions, for those that doubted Dan Campbell, you know, hopefully they see this game as that signature win, a road win in historic Lambeau, knowing that you're basically playing for nothing but pride to knock out Aaron Rodgers out of the playoffs. I mean, it's about as good as you can get without winning to make the playoffs, right? I mean, it's about best case scenario. All right, coming up tonight on the old television. I don't know if you knew this, but did you know that tonight is that college football playoff championship game? This is it. Title game tonight. Very exciting. TCU against Georgia, 7:30 over on ESPN. So that will be nice because I believe that can have our undivided attention. Red Wings aren't back in action until tomorrow at 7 o'clock against Winnipeg. Pistons aren't in action until tomorrow at 7 o'clock on the road against Philadelphia. So this is what we have. We've got no Michigan, no Michigan State. We are in the clear for Monday night, no Monday Night Football. This is it. TCU versus Georgia. Gentlemen, Georgia is a 12.5-point favorite. Who do we like in this contest?
I mean, there are some NBA games to bet on, too. Don't forget.
Yeah, but what do you got in this one?
I'm riding with TCU.
Oh, to cover or win outright?
I'll go for it. Win outright. I think they're the scrappy team. I think they're the chaotic team that no one just knows what to do with.
I love that.
When things go haywire, that's when TCU's at their best.
I love that. I'm going to ride with TCU as well. I pull off the upset, win one for the Big 12. What a story it would be for Sonny Dykes and company. I'm gonna roll with the Horned Frogs. It's very hard to win it once. It's real hard to win it twice, especially back to back. Let's see if they can knock out Georgia. What say you, Dan?
Oh, I'm gonna take Georgia. They're gonna actually play big bully football, and yeah, I'll say a 2-touchdown game.
2 touchdowns. All right, there you have it. Enjoy it tonight, 7:30. NBA action as well. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code HUGE. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any association team to win. Get $150 in free bets when they do. Promo code HUGE only at DraftKings. If you or somebody who knows a gambling problem, wants help, needs help, call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline, 800-270-7117. 21 plus, Michigan only. Eligibility and deposit restrictions to apply. Bonus issued is free bets. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/basketball terms. For Dan and Ryan, I'm Anthony. So long. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Here on X's and Bros on the Michigan Sports Network.
Whether it's jackpots or colors of the rainbow, 7's a special number. At Meijer, it's no different. Get more for your money with 7 for $7, no luck required. Mix or match specially marked items. Buy 7 or more and get each for only $1. From Meijer Instant Oatmeal and Meijer Pasta Sauce to Meijer Facial Tissue, there's so many ways to 7 for $7. Plus, California Sweet Seedless Mandarins just $2.99 for a 3-pound bag. And shop the same low Meijer prices in-store and online. Exclusions apply. See all the deals in the Meijer app.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you or your family is touched by autism, learn more about Freddy's Foundation at #PopTheTap at freddythepizzaman.com. That's FREDI, thepizzaman.com, or email freddythepizzaman@gmail.com.
This is
Imagine this, winning big at Soaring Eagle and finding Piggy Riches for up to $10,000. Every Friday in January, one lucky winner every hour from 7 to 11 p.m. will break the piggy and reveal their prize from $500 premium play all the way up to $10 grand in cash. Don't miss Piggy Riches, only at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Your getaway reimagined. Visit SoaringEagleCasino.com for complete rules and details.
Phil Simonson here for my good friend Tom Rosenbach. Now, he's a managing partner at Bean Carter. They're one of America's top accounting and business firms. They're based in downtown Grand Rapids. They now have merged with Dorn Mayhew from the east side of the state, and they're stronger than ever before in the state of Michigan, the Midwest, and coast to coast when it comes to your accounting and business needs. Find out more at BeanCarter.com. That's BeanGartr.com. Also, Thomas stepped up with $1,500 in cash in the Beat Huge Pro Football Picks contest. Now, if you beat my picks just 1 week, you'll be in the drawing at the end of the pro football season for $1,500 in cash from Tom Rosenbach and Bean Carter. Thursday night game is always a freebie. You have until Sunday morning to play every week through the big game. You can play once or play every week. Do what you want to, but get your picks in now at thehugeshow.net.